Good evening, everyone. We welcome you all once again to the Eka Arena in Ahmedabad as the defending champions, Karnavati Knights, are all set to rock and roll, hustle and rumble against the Ahmedabad Avengers. Let's see who has what it takes to eventually break the other, eventually break the spirit of their opposition, or is it all going to be another stalemate? Well, Gujarat Super League, it has already found its roots yesterday. It has already found a swashbuckling start yesterday. And today we are here on Friday, what we can say the onset of a perfect weekend. And no weekend can be better when there's football. No weekend can be damp when there's football in it. So, yes, off we roll as the teams walk out to the center. It's the Ahmedabad Avengers.
Good
We're
evening,
out in the
coach.
mix.
Good evening to all.
How do you feel to be part of GSL Season 2?
Yeah, I'm very excited to be a part of the Gujarat Super League 2. I should really thank my team owner to giving on trust on me and giving this opportunity. And I should really thank GFA for giving me this opportunity to come and work with Gujarat Football Association.
So, what plans for the season ahead?
Yeah, there's a big plan is there. I had a word with my owner also to take this club long height so that the more youth can come inside so we can scout some more local players. To be very honest, we are looking to be the champion of this tournament. Karke.
So, how has GSL, Gujarat Super League, affected Gujarat football community and the players?
I should really thanks Gujarat Football Association, State Football Association for organizing this beautiful tournament because of this, the charm and everything, the players, local players are getting involved, much involved in this cricket. We see the youth is also playing good football. When I was with the under 17 team, the players were having a lot of quality local players. So it is really helped the local boys for developing their football.
That's amazing to hear. So, best of luck for the game.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, coach.
Right, Mr. Taposh Ghosh, the coach of Ahmedabad Avengers,
coach.
and that's the
Good
dressing
evening.
room of the champions.
How do you feel to be back in GSL Season 2?
Really, I'm proud for this season. Last season was Mr. Dharmesh, coach, was heading the team. This season, they have given me opportunity. So really, I'm proud to be here. We lead the team.
What is the strategy to retain the championship as you're the new coach for the team?
Yes, of course, there is a lot of pressure from from the owners and all fans and everyone, including players. Everyone we have a pressure, but we are coming out with a positive mindset and we have that winning mentality to get back the champions. So,
I'm pretty sure, coach, that you'll do amazing.
Yep, thank you.
What's new addition to the teams that was not there in the last year?
Nothing much. The same thing. Only thing is few because since we are champions, most of them are retained and few are changed. Few plays from outside state plays will be changed. So that might make the difference for this season.
Right then, new coach for the defending champions, that is Mr. Shivakumar V. And he shared his important piece of mind. Of course, most of the players were retained from the last season, and of course, a few weeks hither and yon to eventually hone this team into something invincible. A lot would unfurl in the upcoming 90 minutes. A lot would take center stage as the Eka Arena has been bedecked, has been gilded in glory, in glitz and glam, all set to host the second edition of the Gujarat Super League. We'll take a quick look at the starting 11 of both the teams. For Ahmedabad Avengers, it is Ajmal Iranjikal, their goalkeeper and their captain. And they have got the likes of Gotimayum Sharma, Basit Ahmed, Rajesh Yadav, Mohammad Asrar, Jay Kanani, Bam Mitay, Akshay Mal, Arthar Ishaq Malik, Tadison Mariadasan, and Neeraj Kumar. At the other end, the champions is start with Rohit Fatiyal, Sejo Safaukhip, their skipper, Vishesh Pandey, Ram Singh Rathwa, Kuldeep Thakur, Siddharth Pranay, Tejas Abhay Rana, Vishal Dubey, their goalkeeper, Sapam Kennedy Singh, the man who was a part of the I-League 2 setup, has now arrived here in GSL. Then Nitin Paul, We'll also take a look at the bench strength of both the sides for Ahmedabad Avengers. They've got quite a few big names out there, the likes of Aman Sheikh, Sumit Patidar, Rahul Bhatia, Vinay Barla, Tufel Hingora, Malingamba, Nilesh Jamadari, Tirth Patel, and Senang Gunme. And for the Karnavati Knights, it's Ashutosh Shukla, Irfan Abbasi, Manav Vyas, Yash Chudashma, Siddhant Lakhera, Sunil Singh, Kaushik Panchal, Jayashveer Singh, and Shubham Tiwari. The match officials for the day is Mr. William Kaushik, the referee, a very seasoned campaigner. He has been a part of illustrious leagues and the top tier tournaments in India. The assistant referees of the day, it's Umang Parmar and Rushik Tilala. And the fourth official, Mr. Sri Kumar Pillai. Match commissioner, Divyaraj Singh Rana. And referee assessor is Vishnu Chauhan. Well, a lot to talk about, a lot to look forward to. The Ahmedabad Avengers, of course, for them, it's a new dawn, it's a new day. They've got a few new players on the side, and of course, they would like to showcase their ultimate might and supremacy. And at the other end, the Karnavati Knights, they would like to continue that hot momentum of theirs. Being the champions last year, it was a tough run for them, but they kept on fighting. And they fought well. And here they are, all set to dish out what can be a potential masterclass. They've got the class and caliber. They've got the belief. And most importantly, they have got what it takes to upset the champions. The two teams march out to the center, led by Mr. Joy Koshi himself. The other end, at one end, it's going to be the Yellow Brigade. The defending champions, Karnavati Knights. And on the other, it's the team in orange and blue, the Ahmedabad Avengers.
We would like to welcome our chief guest of the evening, Ankit Patel, EC of GSFA, and our team owners of Karnavati Knights, Arpita Patel and Yash Shah, and Ahmedabad Avengers.
All these players, they'll have an impressive opportunity. Got nice smiles on their face, and why not, as they say. You know, when football's around in India, you always have the happiest of weekends. You enjoy it. And amongst us, we've got our revered dignitaries, our chief guests, shaking hands, exchanging pleasantries with the players. What an incredible moment it is for all these youngsters. And of course, the captain a few moments ago in the frame, Sej Joseph Hauke, very talented footballer, had an excellent season last year, came mighty close to scoring. And at the other end, the Ahmedabad Avengers. Of course, it goes without saying that they will be bearing their hearts out in the center.
I request everybody to rise for the national anthem.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंग विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंग तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
The national anthem of the country, of course, it instills a lot of pride in you. Makes your heart swell with honor. And before the match begins, we'll take a quick look at last year's points table. Karnavati Knights, they finished right at the top of the points table. 5 matches, 3 wins and a couple of draws for them. The Ahmedabad Avengers, they did well as well. 5 matches, 3 wins. Two referees out in the center awaiting the captain. Customary photo ops before the game. And Ajmal leading the lines for Ahmedabad Avengers. And at the other end, it's St. Joseph Hauke. Joy Koshi dishing out the instructions just to clarify proceedings. We're all set before the teams take their respective positions. The other officials out there, William Koshi, the match referee, Umang Parmar and Rushit Tilala, the assistant referees, and Sri Kumar Pallai, the fourth official for the day. Quick change of sides after the toss. And match commissioner, Mr. Dinesh Nair. Apologies, actually, match commissioner was Mr. Divya Sen Rana. As you can see on your frame in the split screen, both the teams with their last minute huddle discussing the last moment strategies, bouncing off ideas before they get the ball rolling. You can hear the drums beating already.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And off we roll in the Eka football arena as the reigning defending champions Karnavati Knights, they kickstart their campaign with a battle against another very good team, Ahmedabad Avengers, who finished in the 3rd position. And the Knights are in attack straight away, hoping to open up the doors for themselves, hoping to get an early goal and fend off the opposition from going for those lucrative infringements up front. These players, they know each other. They've been a part of the same state for a while now. They've played football alongside each other, rubbed shoulders with each other for quite a while. And the chemistry, the understanding, all of it is absolutely impeccable. And I think that is where football takes center stage. Karnavati Knights, they get hold of the ball for sure, but couldn't really make the most of it. However, a decent touch exchange out there. Cross comes floating in. An opportunity to try and slam it home. But good clearance there from Ram Singh Ratwa, who is stationed out in the center. Kept his eyes on the ball and was quick to lurch it out of the ground at the expense of a throw-in. Quickly taken, trying to drag it into the box there. However, kind of ran short of space. Good body shielding there as well from the defender. Goal kick for the Knights. Knights, they're taking their time. They don't want to rush through. It's their captain, Hauke. Hauke loses out possession. And the Avengers, they try and converge from the left. A good body tussle. And again, a bit too much on it. Jay Kanani trying to penetrate into the box from that left end, hoping to unload one of those crosses that could have actually invoked danger for the Knights. Avengers showing a bit of an early sting there, showing a bit of an early menace. Throw in here for the Knights there, and I reckon that's going to be a rethrow there. Quickly taken by. Still a bit of a cagey affair so far. I mean, the open chances that we talked about, we've just counted 3 minutes in so far. The Avengers have looked slightly better in terms of their body language, in terms of their attacking quotient. But of course, football, it's a game of 90 minutes. It's a game rife with wax and veins. It's a game brimming with inexplicable twists and turns. So keep an eye out till the final whistle goes. Nothing is really sure. It can change at any point in time. So yes, I think for the Knights as well, they'll have to keep that accelerator pressed. Just because they are the reigning champions doesn't mean that they'll have a free pass this season. They'll have to earn it. They'll have to earn those points. They'll have to work their way to the top. A nicely headed away throw in for the Avengers. You can see Friday evening, the stands are slowly and steadily getting filled. One might not witness shocker block stands out here for today at least. But slowly and steadily, as the game progresses, as the tournament progresses, the numbers will keep on increasing. People will turn up in spate. And that's exactly what GSL is all about. Drawing attention of the local crowd here. Drawing fans to the football stadium. And I think this is an incredible opportunity for the youngsters of the state, for the ones planning to showcase their talent. This is an amazing bid by Gujarat Football Association to try and ameliorate the footballers of the state. It's an incredible landscape right now. And I think with every succeeding day, with every succeeding minute, the footballing landscape in the state has been changing. Last year as well, the tournament started on an excellent note, and when it reached its culmination with the Karnavati Knights lifting the trophy, I think it was a paradigm shift altogether in the quality, in the body language of the players. They had a dream, they realized it, they embraced it, and the result was absolutely captivating. The Avengers, they get hold of the ball, nicely twisting and turning, keeping the ball under control. Bit of a gentle push towards the back. Sent downtown, however, repelled away to safety. The Knights keeping hold of the possession, but so far the categorical passes, the clinical accuracy that we talk about, that hasn't been there. The Avengers trying to create something from the right, but lack of communication. Also good defending from the Knights out there, trading it away at the expense of a corner. The first set piece of the evening for the Karnavati Knights. A chance for them to try and whip one of those chances, one of those opportunities towards the goal. Oh, that's a good looking shot there. Could have been better. And the ball had a bit of a dip out there. That definitely would have been a stern challenge for the goalkeeper, Vishal Dubey. Still not being tested. We'll have to keep an eye out, because the start that the Avengers have got, I think they will like to build on a bit of momentum for themselves. A bit of a high boot out there from Tejas. It's lucky to escape a booking. Caught the head of Tradison Mariadasan. And he's absolutely fine. That's always a good spectacle. Free kick in favour of the Avengers. It's going to be Ajmal Eranjekal, the skipper, and their custodian as well, to whip it downtown. He just had a bit of a lateral pass. But that's a fine crossfield delivery. Way too much power on that. The ball slipping out off the byline for a throw in. Quickly taken again. Back with the Avengers. The Knights win it back. And here's Vishesh Pandey trying to accelerate from the right. Swooped in. A bit of a long ball straight to Ajmal. And he won't break a sweat on that. Easy pickings for him. Basit Ahmed. Square ball there to Irshad. And Irshad trying to find his teammate on the extreme right. Couldn't really sneak one through. Had a bit of a miscued pass. But sneaked down to the bylines again. And here comes the Knights from the left. The Avengers are relentless as well. They've got a resolute defense in place and the rear guard slamming the door shut on their face there. And another clueless header out there. Could have been better. It was Vishesh trying to get one of those opportunities for his team. But again, the kind of distance that he was stationed at from the goal, it took away what could have been a gilt-edged opportunity. But in football, at times, you've got to decide. At times, all you have is that split second. Oh, that's a lovely setup. And a fine run from the right, looking for crossing space there. A lovely knuckle ball in front, laid along the carpet, but excellent defending as well from the Karnavati Knights. There's a reason why they are the champions. Just in time there, dropping a boot. There was the captain himself, is it? Rohit Fathian. Another long ball towards the second post. Header comes in, takes a bit of deflection, and Shivam Dubey quick to get out of his line and collect the ball without any trouble at all. Decent game now, and slowly and steadily it's garnering momentum. It's garnering traction along the way. It's really good to witness. Another fine ball from the right, trying to cut in, create a bit of a categorical chance. An excellent ball forward, one on the side volley, flag goes up. Terrific chance, to be honest. We'll take a look at what really happened there. Unfortunately, couldn't really time the run of his. This is what football is all about, the intensity, the high-octane encounter, the fast exchanges from one end to the other. And Gujarat Super League, it amplified, it magnified all of it in the last iteration of the tournament. And here we are once again, getting to witness it firsthand, getting to witness the craze of the action, the insanity, the madness for football in the state. Thanks to Gujarat Football Association who made it possible. And you're watching this game live on the screens of FIFA Plus and the official YouTube channel of Sportscast India. It doesn't get better than that, of course. Small short passes is what is being exchanged right now. Very cool, very calm. And just trying to trace out. Well, that was a good fine ball there. A bit of chaos in the box. Shivam Dubey quick to rush out of that citadel of his and palm it away to safety. Signs aren't really looking promising enough for Karnavati Knights. The Ahmedabad Avengers, they've got them on a string. Time and time again, they are pushing hard. find that opening. You can hear the fans turning up in numbers, blowing out the horns in support of their team. This is nothing new. This is just the evolution of fan culture in India. We have seen the ultras coming over, all the big teams. If you take a look at Indian Super League, the likes of Manjapara, the likes of the Mohun Bagan Ultras, the likes of the Mariners Base Camp, the likes of East Bengal Ultras as well, the Bengaluru FC, it's the West Block Blues, all of them. They've revolutionized the way fans would enjoy football in India. And here we are in Gujarat, here we are in Ahmedabad, where these young fans, they are showing their passion for their favorite team. Free kick for the Karnavati Knights. Haukip on the ball there. Haukip flips it into the box. Opportunity repelled away. It's going to be the first set piece, or rather the second set piece and the first corner of the evening for the Knights here. And they slip out something, and they carve out something categorical from this move. You can see the urgency in the box of the Avengers here. They want to rally their pieces there. A ball for the second post, but it had way too much goal as the ball went out of play. Goal kick for the Karnavati Knights, and a sigh of reprieve was felt. The idea was to try and find that second post, and Ajmal did jump to just ensure the fact that just in case that the ball had an extraterrestrial spin to it, he had the necessary reinforcements in place. That was a bit of a tricky move. Nicely done, just in the nick of time. Another lovely crossfield ball, trying to penetrate the shields of the Knights out here. The Avengers, that's some quality football from the right, trying to open up the shooting lane, takes the deflection and goes out of play. What initially looked like a very toothless enterprise could have turned vicious. An excellent run, and one would say a timely header, just to give the ball a bit of an elevated arc there. You can hear the Avengers. They are absolutely loving every single moment of this. Here comes the corner. Danger still not over. Possession lingers around. Still with the Avengers. Plays it away towards the left. Another cross towards the goal. Can be an opportunity. How did that not get connected? What a sensational ball for the Ahmedabad Avengers. And all it needed was a thumping header to try and test out the solidity of Vishal Dubey. There were three players from the Ahmedabad Avengers. What a sensational delivery out there. Yeah, that should have been buried 6 feet into the back of the net. Bam Mate could have done better. Make no mistake, the Karnavati Knights, they might still have been dormant so far, but they won't be for long. All they need is a second of invitation, and they will take it all guns blazing. The Avengers, they are creating chances. They'll have to take them with their arms wide open. They cannot wait for things to happen. They cannot wait for themselves to concede. Nonetheless, bygones be bygones. Hoping for the Knights to amplify that intensity of pressure that so far hasn't been a spectacle today. However, the Avengers, they have another chance. Takes one on the turn, should have laid it out to the right there. There was a lot of space to the player going for that run from that right wing. But then a bit of a headlong enterprise. A lovely ball towards the far right. And they keep that under control, not really. Not the happiest of spectacles. You can clearly see Shiva Kumar, the coach for this season, kind of infuriated with the way the Knights have performed until now. You would expect better from his team. Yes, they have shown the defensive solidity. They have so far navigated the treacherous borders of what has been a few chinks in their armor. That's a good snatch. And a fine tussle for the ball as well. Back with the Knights, is it? Yes, they win it back fair and clean. And now they try and dash through the center. Siddharth on the ball. Siddharth knits it forward. Not the best of collections. That's an excellent delivery onto the far left. Here comes the cross. And an attempt to try and take it on the turn itself. Not the best of pickings out there. And here comes the Avengers. They've got some space ahead. Jay Kanani on the ball, trying to cut in sharply. He was hoping to engineer one of those deliveries for Akshay Mal on the right. Akshay fails to reach out. It's a bit of a bobble. Still stays with the Avengers. And back to the Knights, snatch it back. They'll have to think about an alternative strategy. Right now, this point of soaking in all the pressure hasn't really worked out for them. Time and time again, the chinks in their armor have been exposed, and with every succeeding minute, it only gets a lot more troublesome for them. They'll have to come up with something solid, something concrete, to be honest, if they are to win this fixture, if they are to get that first goal at all costs. So far, it hasn't worked out for them. They've tried hard, yes, but in football, it is goals that talk for yourself. Free kick awarded for the Avengers. There's Ajmal taking a quick look at his teammates. Free kick for the Ahmedabad Avengers. How are they going to react to it? That remains to be seen. They've got a bit of a defensive melee in the box there. The two-man wall as well. The distance is pretty long. Chip towards the second post, and it eludes everyone. In the process, the ball goes out to play. The timing of the run was perfect, and I think it was a massive leap as well. Minutes on the ticker, and as things stand, still 0-0. Now the ball sent downtown, and that has been taken care of. Couple of bodies toppling. Looks like a bit of a challenge out there. Not really sure. There you go. Trying to get at the receiving end of the ball. Oh, that was nasty. One in the gut there. I think that was a bit of an extended hand that created all the trouble. This is where things can really turn tricky. Here's an opportunity as well for the Karnavati Knights to get their noses ahead in this game. A long throw into the box. Want to induce chaos. All the way safe and sound. Sapam Kennedy Singh playing the helmsman of that entire defense. as the centre back. Another one of those long balls, and oh, that had a bit of an interesting curl towards the end. For a moment, it felt like it was struck with power and might just have crossed the bylines as well. But then eventually, it compelled the save from Ajmal Ranjikan, who did well to keep hold of the ball. Another fine delivery onto the right. Here's an opportunity. Excellent ball! Opportunity for the Ahmedabad Avengers. And they cannot make the most of it. Danger's not over. Possession stays alive. A bit of an emasculated delivery out in the centre. Taken care of. What an opportunity. What an opening. The Ahmedabad Avengers should have buried that. That's the second time that they've come close. And yet they have failed to convert. We'll be hoping that this doesn't come back to bite them. Fine square delivery. The Avengers now needs to be careful because the Karnavati Knights have found a bit of a foothold with that free kick. And they might just keep on growing from strength to strength. They have the confidence that they need, and they like to build on to that. That's good press there from the Knights, and that is quality football out in the centre. Wins the ball back. Timely clearance as well from the Avengers. Excellent ball towards the right. I reckon should have done better. It was Gotimayam Sharma taking a split second long. And now the intensity, the excitement of this battle, it is enhancing itself with every passing minute. Both the teams are looking a lot more composed. Both the teams are looking a lot more compact in terms of their attacking quotient. Decent ball into the box, and Vishesh Pandey will let it slide into the grasp of Ajmal Ranjikan. Fine delivery. The Avengers, they are relentless as well. These long balls is really worked out for them. But then the final pass that can eventually penetrate the shields, that somehow has been lackluster. What a strike! And an excellent save as well from Shivam Dubey. Rolling for an Oliver. Thunderbolt unleashed from distance. And Shivam Dubey with a robust hand to it, trading it away for a corner. We're talking about the growing intensity of the Ahmedabad Avengers. And that was definitely one from the heavens. Fortunate, however, couldn't really find the back of the net. Another lovely ball, another crucial bit of save there from Shivam Dubey. Dubey continues to protect his citadel with high intensity, with high urgency, and razor-sharp reflexes. Excellent goalkeeping out there. Feels like so far the tests that he's already braved, he might have taken care of the fire or the baptism by fire. And from here on, he will only come out stronger and a lot more confident, believing in himself. In terms of footballing technicalities, of course, the Ahmedabad Avengers have been a superior side, at least until now. In context of the first 26 minutes, time and time again, they have rung the peals of warning there. Another lovely cross, a glancing header. Couldn't really find the power that they were looking forward to. The angle was a bit too difficult for themselves. That was a rudderless shot there, taken for the sake of it. We can see fans of different age groups. We can see fans of all genders coming together. Because this is what football is all about. This is what GSL is all about. Bringing the fans of the state, bringing the footballing fans of the state together in what is a grand rivalry. where five teams, six teams come together looking for the ultimate supremacy in the footballing excellence of Gujarat. Ajmal getting his clearance already. Testing stand. Things are looking tight. Both the teams have matched each other blow for blow, ounce for ounce. They've come forth with significant bit of venom altogether, and they like to keep it that way. That was the long range effort that we were talking about. This is this has been an excellent display altogether from the Ahmedabad Avengers. They look like a side reformed. They look like a side that has undergone renaissance together. Quality of the football has been impeccable. There's another fine shot from distance. Had it not been for Shivam Dubey, that was definitely fireballing itself into the net. Restart action. Here comes the Knights again. They're trying to use that left wing with theirs. Trying to create a bit of momentum. Looks like the Avengers, they've won the ball back. Goalkeeper was out of his line. I think they had ample space. They could have actually gone forward. It was not that Shivam Dubey was miles out of that position of his, so he could have always tracked back, could have always backpedaled and just laid claim to it. Surprising to see what the best of decision making out here. You've got space ahead of yourself, you've got a player tagging along in that pursuit of the goal. I think there are times when you will have to bring the entire unit together and rely on creating something of substance instead of going for that long range half-baked effort. That's been taken care of. Goes after a throw in there. And the Ahmedabad Avengers taking their time. Not really sure what's happening. Should be a throw in. Once again, for the ones watching, this is the second iteration of the Gujarat Super League. It started last year with 6 teams, and all these 6 teams remain. And eventually, after some intense and crazy, some mad footballing action, it was the KARNAVATI Knights who walked away with the grand silverware last year. And this is their tournament opening campaign. Throw and repelled away by the Knights. And now the Knights looking for some momentum. Tejas runs into a bit of a defensive blockade. To find clearance. The idea is to find the player in the far left, Jay Kanani. Get some support. Back to Jay again. But before Jay could have tracked it back, it was cleared away for a throw in. Seeing some good defending altogether. However, the Avengers, they have been unfazed. That's quality there. It's a fine run from the left. It was Neeraj Kumar trying to make the most of that chance and get a minus in place. Unfortunate there. He couldn't really track it. Couldn't really get at the receiving end of the ball. Was chasing shadows. The ball had ample power in it. It skidded off the carpet at the expense of the goal kick. And here come the Knights again. Slow and steady. Still calm and composed. In the face of incessant pomp from the Avengers, the Knights, they're unfazed, they're undeterred, they're undaunted. They have continued to do what they do the best. Of course, their attacking unit needs to do better. So far, somehow, it feels that it has been more of a react and response attitude from them instead of the creativity that we are so used to from the Karnavati Knights. In the center, the Ahmedabad Avengers have looked a lot better than their counterparts. They might not have found the all-important goal, but they have battled with their hearts and souls on the line. And they want this very moment to be etched out in immortality. Just imagine, with all the spotlight on these youngsters, with all the spotlight on the seeds of tomorrow, it doesn't get bigger than this. It doesn't get more intense than this. This game is being broadcasted across the globe on the official YouTube channel of Sportscast India and FIFA Plus as well. This is what footballing madness is all about, and with the numbers turning up in the audience, I think we can say that Gujarat Super League is doing a phenomenal job. That is an exquisite run from the left. Minus comes in. Good defending there from the Avengers. And their eyes on the ball, and they were quick to convert there. Vishesh not really getting the ball where he would have liked it to try and unleash one of those long-range shots of his. This can be another one of those long shots there. And a terrific strike, and Ajmal, he palms it away just in the nick of time. It was Siddharth Pranay with a sensational hit from distance. And for the first time, Ajmal being tested, and he came out with flying colours. So in fact, the ball, it veered out of the park itself. It was a goal kick. And now the Karnavati Knights slowly shaking off that defensive integument of theirs. Nicely chested down. Trying to find a bit of momentum. Won the ball back, the Avengers. And now they are trying to drive it forward. Eventually clear their danger lines, but looks like in the process have committed a foul. The referee blowing the whistle out there, awarding a free kick for the Ahmedabad, apologies for the Karnavati Knights. A chance for them to try and flick one towards the goal. Maybe use this as a springboard if possible. Ajmal just arranging that wall of his. This is a very promising scenario for Gujarat football. I think, of course, last year they also had the futsal happening, which was another grand event. And then Gujarat Super League. That's a fine strike. However, it had ample elevation on it. It was Joseph Haukip trying to push it towards the goal there. It was ramrod straight, no curl, no dip. And the ball missing out its mark by light years. That's a fine bit of intervention there. Going to be a throw-in for the Avengers. The Avengers still looking for a bit of momentum. Quality defending there from Ram Singh Radva. Back with the Avengers again. However, they failed to keep the ball under control. It goes out of play. long ball in front. And the Knights come knocking on the doors. Keeping it down. Sends the cross. Taken care of. Can the Knights keep the possession under control though? Doesn't seem likely enough. And it's a throw in for the Avengers. 8 minutes of regulation time remaining. Following which we'll have whatsoever gets added on. So let's say around 2 to 3 minutes in all likelihood. Throw it out here for the Avengers. Quickly taken, pushed back as well. Another square ball towards the right. Chips it forward. Once again, looking to use the right wing to their advantage. Still with the Knights. And the Knights now trying to accelerate from the left, pushing it towards the centre field. And once again, the Avengers had Neeraj Kumar, who's been everywhere, has been ubiquitous. Kind of workload that has been taken out there by Neeraj Kumar. It is absolutely mind blowing. Still with the Knights. That's a good snatch. And now through the centre. It's the Knights dashing forward, is it? The Avengers dashing forward, rather, looks like. It's going to be a free kick. The referee's blown the whistle. Medical out in the center. I think both the players just having a bit of an exchange out there. While he receives out treatment. Just to give you all a quick heads up, this tournament, it started off yesterday with another crackling battle. And here we are. On day 2. This is the third encounter of the fray. Karnavati Knights taking the yard for the first time. Ahmedabad Avengers as well. And the Avengers, they have definitely assembled. They're looking in great notch and great shape. They have continued with the momentum that they had last year as well. They were unfortunate to miss out on the qualifications. But this year, they don't want to. They want to keep on fighting. They want to keep on rocking and rolling, rumbling. They want to go that extra mile and eventually get the all-important qualification spot. Four minutes remaining in the first half of regulation time. Throw in for the Avengers. Small short passes is what the Knights are playing with. The Avengers are retaliating in the same coin. But truth be told, both the wings have been extremely expressive for the Avengers. And that is where they have somehow looked better than their opposition. That's the second time they have tried to take a shot on the turn itself. I think if you're trying to take a shot on the turn or on the volley, you need to do better. You need to understand that what are the key elements that you have to get it right. Long chase on the right wing. Does well to keep the ball in play. You got to whip one of those long crosses into the mix out there, just from outside the box. Irshad Malik. Back for Irshad. Irshad delivers the cross. And again, a very poor first touch. That could very well have been the opening goal. It was laid on a silver platter. It was tough for him to miss that to score. But then, as they say, at times, it's the first touch that defines the fate of a continent, that defines the fate of a crown. If you remember the 2014 World Cup final, Mario Götze, the first touch which he did, he brought it down with his chest. And then the finish was quality. And on the last occasion, it was the first touch that was all over the place. The Knights with a strike from distance. And Ajmal Ranjikal, despite a fully stretched out leap, just to cover his base, saw the ball flying away. The game started off on a bit of a cagey note, but slowly and steadily, it has garnered ample speed, intensity, and momentum. The exchange has been fantabulous. And it simply keeps on building. It simply keeps on giving. That is how crazy this game has been. Here comes the Avengers once again from the right. The right and the left is where they have tried. The center, they haven't attempted too much to try and cross. But the two wings have been the fire trails. The two wings have produced one gift after the other. The Avengers once again. Hoping to find a bit of momentum as well. Fine bit of run through the center. Left and right, exquisite ball control as well. Switching it away. Not really sure how many minutes were added on. 4 it is. The official confirmation coming in. That's going to be another free kick here, and looks like it's going to be the first yellow card. And it is the Ahmedabad Avengers. Slightly unlucky there. Had to come in with that foul, take one for the team. And it's a very good juncture to have a free kick from. It's Haukip once again. He has the reputation of delivering one of those curlers. There's a fine outside dodge, and that clearly was not needed, but at times you have to do what you have to do. Bradison being booked. Here comes the free kick. That has been taken care of. In fact, it was Jay Kanani who was shown the yellow card. First minute coming to an end. And the referee has blown the whistle out there. Looks like the flag went up. That was another exquisite run. There we go, we'll take a look. A sensational cross and a fine touch, but a quality save. But then even if it would have gone in, it wouldn't have counted. There you go. That is the quality we have been talking about, and the Ahmedabad Avengers, they have actually conjured that. A brilliant extended left boot out there. The Karnavati Knights consistently living out under pressure. There comes the throw, chested down just in time. Another throw in. The Knights coming closer and closer. But do they have what it takes to finally break down the defense to finally register that all important opening goal there. It's going to be one of those long throws. And it's Haukip himself. There goes Haukip. And again, a very emasculated enterprise. Danger stays alive. The idea was to find someone on that left wing. But Ajmal, he will comfortably collect that without any trouble at all. And now, the Avengers again trying to create something from the back, trying to get those long balls in perspective. This time, kind of lackluster. Back with the Knights. Hits it further forward. Playing those short passes amongst themselves. Ram Singh Ratwa. Here's it away. Throw in for the Knights. Last minute of the first half. It has been an exciting 45 minutes. 48 minutes to be precise, but as the half would go, as the regulations go, 45 minutes of exhilarating action. Started off on a bit of a cagey note, and then after that sedate overture, the Rockets were soon taking flight from both the teams, in fact. Once again, the idea was to try and thread it into the stride of Nitin Paul, and Nitin didn't even go for it. Nitin let it slide. Still a long way to go for these two teams. 45 crazy minutes to follow. An entire half of football. Anything can happen. Tectonic shifts can happen. Poles can shift apart. And Joy Koshi says, we'll take a breather from the intensity of the action before we return with the second half. Brilliant brand of football from the Karnavati Knights and the Ahmedabad Avengers have so far unfurled ahead of us. Both the teams have come close, and yet goals haven't been the talk of the town. That's the half-time scoreline. Ahmedabad Avengers 0, Karnavati Knights 0. We'll dive into a short breather and return shortly with the second half of the contest. In the meanwhile, do stay tuned to catch the highlights of the first half. And a warm welcome, everyone. We are all set for the second half of this battle between the Karnavati Knights and the Ahmedabad Avengers. As things stand, it is the Ahmedabad Avengers who have dictated proceedings in the first half. But truth be told, they are still to get themselves the all-important opening goal. Karnavati Knights obviously gaining momentum towards the end of the first half. They looked in solid control. In the second, or rather towards the latter half of the first half itself. And as the Knights roll out to the center, so does the Avengers, hoping to make the most out of this battle. So on the split screen, you can see on your left it's the Ahmedabad Avengers, on your right it's the Karnavati Knights. Still a long way to go for these sides out there, and as the fireworks take flight, as the glitz and glam take flight, we are ready to witness footballing madness in Gujarat once again. The Eka Arena of Ahmedabad has laid the epicenter to all the craze, to all the rollicking action of the Gujarat Super League. And off we roll. Once again, in the second half of the contest, on your frame, attacking from the left to the right, in their orange and blues, there. It's the Ahmedabad Avengers. And on your frame, now kicking the ball from the right to the left, it's the defending reigning champions of the first edition of the tournament, the Karnavati Knights, in their signature yellow. All the way back to Ajmal. We'll collect it up without fussing at all. And the substitution for the Knights, Jayashveer Singh, has come on, and Abhay Rana is made his way out. Their coach Shiva Kumar trying to get in a few necessary tweaks to the playing 11, hoping to create maximum impact on the game. And it goes without saying, the Karnavati Knights, they would be coming forth, all guns blazing here in the second half, if they are to kickstart their campaign with a victory. Ajmal under a bit of pump out there. Another one of those long throws comes in with the objective of trying to induce chaos. A nice bit of work out there. Had a bit of a boot to it. Another exquisite ball. Flag's gone up. Another substitution that happened, and it's for the Avengers. Malingamba has come in, and Jay Kanani has gone out. Jay Kanani has had a bit of a tough game today. Couldn't really make the most of the talents that he comes in with. A very talented footballer, a man with immense vision and a man with some laser-like precision. And here comes the Karnavati Knights, the Ahmedabad Avengers once again. Apologies. And the gentle header. Get it out of the way. It's going to be a corner here, is it? Or a throw-in. That is what has to be seen. And that's Rohit Fatiyal, one of the senior players for the Karnavati Knights. Knows very well of his assignment, knows very well of the onus on his broad shoulders here. He's carrying his team, one of the key stalwarts of the defense. There comes the corner, floated in. However, we talk about menace, we talk about nightmares. That corner definitely didn't have any element of threat laced with it. Here's Asrar for the Ahmedabad Avengers. Mohammad Asrar will be floating in the corner from the right now. An right-footed outswinger. There it comes, a glancing header, but once again a pretty emaciated one, to be honest. Also off target. And now the Knights trying to accelerate, trying to make the most of this counter attack, but once again somehow the tempo that we have seen from the Karnavati Knights hasn't exactly been one that would bother the Ahmedabad Avengers. Because if you take a look at the overall game, the Avengers, they have tried to push their counterparts back with speed, and it has worked so far. They might not have had the final touch, but time and time again, they have invaded their counterparts. Another excellent run for the Avengers. Cross comes in from the right, flashing in front of the goal there. It was Vinay Barla with a sensational delivery. And the Karnavati Knights, they were kind of caught in a rut. Could have been in trouble had the ball been modulated, or had the ball been regulated towards the goal. Slightly hapless on that occasion. Free kick quickly taken out here by the Karnavati Knights. The Knights have been pretty sluggish, to be honest. Ideally, you would see them roaring, particularly with someone like their captain, Joseph Hauke, taking charge. But Joseph hasn't exactly been at his expressive best. Yes, has definitely bolstered the defense of the team. But Joseph is a very versatile player, kind of plays out in that central defensive midfield role there, bridging out the gap between the attack and the defense. That's a fine ball straight into the hands of Ajmal Erajikan. Ajmal has done a decent job so far. Time and time again has been asked to come out of that final line of his and has looked in solid touch. Attar Malik, he was asking the throw for himself there. The referee has denied him an entrance. Once again, a bit of a hasty, headlong clearance. Have to be careful out here. Can be a chance for one of those long rangers. It comes in, but had a bit of a curl onto it. However, the shot was definitely off target. Fine opportunity. The moment they got their eyes on the ball, they knew exactly what they had to do. They were eyeing for one of those distant curlers coming in. mean, obviously, when the champion team is playing, I think if there's one thing that the crowd would love to watch is goals. It is goals that redefines the bounds, that redefines football, and it is goals that instill exhilaration and exultation in the present audience. And tricky football there from the Ahmedabad Avengers, getting a bit of deflection along the way. The Knights looking good now, at least. Looking a lot more confident. And here are the Avengers, trying to sneak one through. The idea was okay, but the finishing wasn't good. The final touch could have been better. Ball onto the far right. Got an option. Mohammad Asrar. Mohammad lays it off along the carpet. This can be one of those openings. He lost his shape out there, Akshay, and kind of had a very complicated angle to make the most of. But then kudos to that bravado of his. Took one while going down, and it's not easy. When you're losing your balance, it's more like a last-ditch effort that you take to try and steer it towards the goal. The idea was all right. The execution was decent enough. But the killing menace, the killing instinct that we talk about, that wasn't there. And the Karnavati Knights getting in another change out here. Irfan Abbasi coming in place of Vishesh Pandey, one of the best strikers of Gujarat. And Pandey will take no longer part in this fixture. He's had a bit of a tough day in office. The Knights not really finding the rhythm, the momentum, the symphony of their own. They have been kind of off tune today. And that is exactly where we should talk about. Well, that's not the right arrows, one would say. Vishesh Pandey is the one who went out. Irfan Abbasi is the one who came in. Ajmal now kind of twisting with fire itself. Needs to be careful. He's the last guard of the Citadel. There wasn't anyone backing him. And as a goalkeeper, unless you are Manuel Neuer and unless you are overtly confident, you got to be very, very careful. You can't just come out of that Citadel of yours leaving it exposed, because one mistake and you will be staring down a leaky barrel, and you wouldn't want that, would you? This can be a chance out there. Decent work. Nice clearance coming in. 56 minutes on the ticker for now. Still a long, long way to go for both these teams, who are still hunting for the all-important opening goal, who are still hunting for that one strike, that one blazing strike that can set them apart. We call it the opening blinder. Do we have it soon enough? That's the question. The Avengers, they wanted to come in all the way from the left. Unfortunate, however, they didn't really find the momentum that they were looking forward to. The referee's blown the whistle. It's going to be a possible throw-in for the Karnavati Knights. Bit of a back header. Still trying to keep that under control, and nice clearance there. A thumping one at it. Catapulting it out of the park for another throw-in. Shivam Dubey, so far, time and time again, he has been tested and the way he's faced it all, that tells you a story. That tells you how good he is at his job, how proficient he's under the sticks. They say when you're the last guard of the citadel, when you are the last sentinel of the Achilles, you have to come up with something extraordinary, something that screams resolve, that screams confidence and panache. And that is exactly what Vishal has done. Shivam has done, apologies. Once again, whistle out there, awarding another free kick to the Karnavati Knights. It's going to be an hour out here. Another sensational ball, nicely chested down for his teammate. The Knights, they are amplifying their pressure. There comes the cross! And then opportunity goes begging. Possession lingers on for the Yellow Brigade, the defending champions. Cross floated in. Will we see the shooting lane being opened up? It was. But then way too much elevation behind the ball. You'll have to keep that under control. Just because you have the shooting range ahead of you doesn't mean you fire a blinder off target. It's not about shots on or off target that gets you where you want to be. It's about those precise laser strikes that will help you to get your name enlisted on the score sheet. Another one of those long runs, and eventually it slides out of play for a throw-in. The Karnavati Knights, they know that the last couple of minutes, or let's say the last 5 minutes, somehow they have managed to create that vortex of pressure on the Ahmedabad Avengers. The Avengers are feeling the sting right now. And unless they come out of that defensive shell of theirs, unless they come up with that counter sting of theirs, they would soon find the Karnavati Knights stepping up in an incarnation of Thanos in front of them. And they wouldn't want that. They definitely wouldn't want that. So far, what the Knights have done in the second half is they have amped up that speed of theirs. And the moment you start amping up the speed is where things take a very different turn. Where you start asking all the right questions. Questions that players don't like being asked. Big throw taken all the way back to Ajmal, and Ajmal kind of taking the risk way too frequently now. Referee says get back up, Knights on the prowl. It is Joseph Haukim with a cross-field delivery, headed away to safety. Referee blowing the whistle. That was so not needed. He was never going to win the ball there. He's extremely fortunate that he will escape just with a verbal warning. He needs to be careful out there. When the ball's away from you, you can't just raise your start and start poking at your opposition. As the drum beats get louder, as they resonate with the heartbeats of the player, with the excitement of the fans out in the stands. Gujarat Super League 2.0 simply finds its new rhythm, simply finds its new tone. And the Avengers, do they have an opening out there for themselves? Oh, they have a free kick at a very good position. Well, that was more of a 50-50 call out there. The Karnavati Knights, it was Jayashveer Singh who was trying to break free. But in the process, what he's done is he's kind of put way too much pressure on the player at the receiving end of it. That is where it all went downtown. And this could very well be the opening that they were looking forward to. We'll take a look once again. There you go, Jeshveer trying to tackle Akshay. I think it was, again, the reason I said it was 50-50 is because there were two factors that determined this foul. One is, did the player actually gain control of the ball, which he did? The second question was, how powerful, how substantial of a contact did he make? Now, that second part was kind of tricky. And here's the move that was kind of popularized by the Croatian stalwart Brozovic. Looks like Joseph Haukin wants to pull off one move, just lying down in front of that defensive wall of theirs, just outside the box. Can the Avengers make the most of it? There comes the free kick, slams it into the wall, and excellent defending as well. Fearless in front of what could have been a very powerful strike. Throw in for the Ahmedabad Avengers. Shivam Dubey hollowing out those instructions at the top of his lungs. Mohammad Asrar still trying to find a way. Falls back for the Avengers. Once again trying to be cheeky out there. Irshad Malik quickly flicking it towards the penalty box. That's not good defending. And that's not good attacking either. They will get a free kick though. It's because of a handball. Joy Koshi. He is absolutely stringent. And an unnecessary yellow card there. That was so not needed. You cannot keep on arguing with the referee. He's taken a call and that call will stay. We don't have VAR here. Had there been a VAR, it could have been a different ball game altogether. There you go. Something unnecessary, something that was so not needed. And now it is Kuldeep Thakur who has been shown the yellow card of the Karnavati Knights. Needs to be very, very careful. It's understandable that they've conceded a free kick. You have to take it in your stride and let it slide. It's as simple as that. Mohammad Asrar is joined by Gotimayam Sharma for the free kick. Can the Avengers make the most of it? The drums get louder, the drums get faster. It's going to be Asrar with the free kick. Asrar floats it towards the goal. Chested away to safety. The referee's blown the whistle now, awarding a free kick to the Karnavati Knights. The intensity in the second half has been a lot more than the one in the first. It's absolutely deafening out here at the Eka Stadium in Ahmedabad. And the harmony. It's the harmony of some enthralling footballing action. Good skills on display. Fine touch. Can the Avengers break free? Or will the Knights keep on amplifying, keep on compounding the pressure that they have created right now? Quick change for the Ahmedabad Avengers. Tufail Hingora comes in. There comes another long throw. A bit of chaos in the box there. A gentle trip in front. Should have been better. Should have been way better. Tejas was on the ball. Couldn't really bring it under control. Chested it out. Looks like there was a bit of reflection along the way as well. Ajmal urging his players to take their respective positions. It's a corner. Another opportunity for the Karnavati Knights to try and probe the opposition. And Shabumbam Mitay has made his way out. It's Tufel Hingora making his way in for the Avengers. Here comes the Knights. Corner floated in, but not the best of corners that you would see. Way too much curl. Bit of a lackluster effort, to be honest. Yeah, the referee will blow a whistle. That clearly was a foul. A welcome break there for the Karnavati. Apologies for the Ahmedabad Avengers. Had a bit of a hard touch there, allowing the Karnavati Knights to snatch the ball. Free kick for the Avengers. Radisson drops it further forward. Another throw-in for the Avengers. With every succeeding minute, this game is getting a lot more exciting and a lot more intriguing. It's fascinating how the momentum changes. It's fascinating how it all flips from one pole to the other, from one hemisphere to the other. And the drums are simply providing the background score. Another opportunity, a bit of chaos in the box out there. And repelled away from the line, another long range effort. Wonderful save, shot comes in. And the ball keeps on pinballing. Well, what has the goalkeeper done? He's out of his line, headed away for the expense of a corner. What did we just witness? The ball pinballing itself. And the Ahmedabad Avengers, with one gilt-edged chance after the other, fails to convert. Absolute madness in the box. Insanity at its peak. The Karnavati Knights, they'll have to figure out that what is it exactly that they are eyeing for. Because for now, the Ahmedabad Avengers, they have clamped them down like none other. Sheer quality on display. I think the finishing could have been better, and if it was better, we would have had our second goal. Fine ball, the goalkeeper pumps it away. Danger still not over. Perfect throw in by the Ahmedabad Avengers for now. Now the intensity, that's through the roof, that's through the stratosphere. A couple of stumbles. Gently ruling it out. Nice bit of outside dodge there by the Avengers. And now they dash through the center field. The idea was to try and lead into the stride of the play. Careening forward. That wasn't the case with the quality defending so far. Also, truth be told, final passing hasn't been good from both the sides. Well. The Avengers, they might have just got themselves an opening. That definitely was a substantial push, and the referee, his eyes won't miss out on that. Still 18 minutes to go. Forward, touch out there. Can they eventually send it further forward? Not to be. Misses it out. The Knights now trying to launch a counter attack of their own. with the Avengers. They've got their defensive reinforcements in place. And now they have some space as well. Oh, that's a gentle, delicate chip, threaded to perfection. Just outside the box. Fine ball through the center field. There comes the shot, and again, way too emasculated. The ball taking flight. I think could have been better. That should have been a flatter trajectory, to be honest. That wasn't the case. Time and time again. Both the teams have looked good so far. Now the gingerly chip forward. Back with the Avengers, back with the Knights rather. And it's their captain Joseph Howkip now deployed more as a central midfielder instead of the defensive role that he was playing, and that is exactly what has introduced a bit of a tectonic shift so far in their body language. The attacking quotient has been a lot more. The intensity has been palpable. Yeah, once again, I think that was a very negligible push out there. Football's a body contact game, and these things are very normal. Siddharth Pranay with that push, the referee deemed it to be substantial enough to give away a foul. And here comes the Karnavati Knights, goes for a shot trying to chip it over the head of Ajmal Ranjikar. Then all he could manage was the extended arms of Ajmal. That's good goalkeeping. He was out of his line. He'll thank his stars that the ball didn't have more elevation onto it. That is where the unraveling could have come from. The shot kind of was pretty flatter in its trajectory. And here are the Knights again. Now a lot more composed, a lot better, and far superior display, to be honest. Here they come from the right. Fine bit of turn inside the box. Lays it out towards the right. However, meets out a bit of resistance. And that was a mighty ball there. That will definitely cross all the bounds and go out of play. Minutes of regulation time remaining. 15 minutes of insane action so far. Seeing some brilliant moves being made. How Joseph Howkip got himself a bit of a challenge out there. Bit of a drink streak for the players to quickly administer some fluids into their system. The fans watch on patiently as the fans enjoy every single second of this game. I think they will be absolutely thrilled. Kind of football that they have witnessed. Two very good teams are in action here at the Eka Arena, and it simply keeps on getting better from one end to the other. It simply keeps on getting crazy. I mean, yes, of course, one would have expected a great game of football when these two teams are in the blend. But the kind of action that we have seen so far, that is marvelous. Fine layoff onto the right. Oh, that's quality football. Into the box. He still keeps on running. The referee's blown the whistle and he's pointed to the spot. The Karnavati Knights are in serious trouble. And that is because the Ahmedabad Avengers, they have been granted a penalty. The moment that we were all waiting for, a decisive one. And this could very well be it. What a phenomenal run this has been from Malingamba, showing his class, caliber, stature before being brought down recklessly by Sapam Kennedy Singh. Here's an opportunity for the Ahmedabad Avengers. They missed out on a qualification spot last year, and they avenge it with a slender lead against the defending champions, Karnavati Knights. Shivakumar definitely not happy with the decision, but I think there was ample contact for the penalty to be deemed. However, that can be a debate for the referees and the teams. We're all set. Stern test for Shivam Dubey. Mohammad Asrar with the responsibility. Spick and span goes Mohammad Asrar as he slams home the penalty to propel Ahmedabad Avengers ahead in this all-important encounter. 10 minutes is what remains on the clock, and it's Mohammad Asrar whose signature penalty gets the Avengers ahead, with the Knights now left in front of a mountain to scale. Cool, calm, composed, stepping up and veering off the goalkeeper in a different direction. He slams it home. As good as it gets, as beautiful as it gets. And I think at the beginning I said that football is a very tricky game. It can flip around at any point in time and you wouldn't even know. And that's exactly what's just happened until that final whistle is blown. Another fine run. Mohammad Asrar trying to get hold of it. Oh, that could have been tricky. Played it back to Vishal Dubey. Vishal had to clear his lines in a heartbeat. And Vishal does well. Another excellent ball headed away to safety. Still trying to latch on to it. And now the Avengers. Here they come. Again, not the best of balls. They had Mohammad Asrar onto their left. Could have utilized that. Couldn't. And once again, for the ones who are glued onto the screens, you're watching all the action of Gujarat Super League 2.0 live on the official YouTube channel of Sportscast India and FIFA Plus. "81 minutes so far. 81 minutes of absolute madness, oscillating from one end to the other. What a brilliant exchange of football this has been. They have fought and they have fought well. Bit of a stoppage out in the center to dish out the medical treatment. That was a penalty from Mohammad Asrar. No mistake at all. Cool and calm, just smashing it home. I mean, in a high octane game like this, the chances that you get are very rare. When you utilize it, this is how you do it. Soaring through, pummeling it from this dreaded spot. Brilliant finish, to be honest. All the way back to Vishal Dubey. I think Vishal, he knows that he's done everything he could, but when it comes to a spot kick, there's not much. I think Sapam Kennedy Singh, he's a senior player, I mean, he's been around for a while. That's an excellent intervention there. And a fine layoff. Mohammad Asrar once again accelerating from the right. But quality defending there from Haukip Joseph. Asrar does well to win the ball. That was a clattering tackle. Referee's blown the whistle. I think you've got to be very, very careful. Joseph Haukip, he has been swept off his feet out there. And Sapam Kennedy Singh is definitely not happy with the call. Of course, he's conceded a penalty, so it gets a lot tougher for him as well. And I think if there's one thing that he'd like to witness out here, is that his team restores parity. His team equalizes at all costs. It will need nerves of steel. 6 minutes of regulation time is what they have. Got a fine ball forward. Chested down. Cleared away. The Knights still on the ball. Again, that final touch still proving to be the bane. Excellent forward release. And this can be another opening out here. Unfortunate, the flag's gone up. So whatsoever chance that was created has been nullified. Can the Knights come up with a solid response? Can they come up with something absolutely brilliant, something mind-boggling that will tell us that why they are the true champions, why they are being deemed as a team insurmountable, insuperable. This is their true test. This is where it all changes for them. Referee blowing the whistle out there. Five minutes of regulation time remaining. Another change out here. Sumit is the man coming on for the Ahmedabad Avengers. And he's going to replace the man who has been absolutely sensational and most importantly scored the all-important goal, Mohammad Asrar, coming out to a rousing ovation. No wonder his team would be delighted to have him in the dugout. It's going to be a corner for the Ahmedabad Avengers. Shivam Dubey, apologies, Vishal Dubey, arranging his pieces. Not the best of corners. The Avengers had to drop deep. Launches one forward. Vishal out of his position. but then eventually gets hold of it once again. Unnecessary. Why would you do that? That is so not needed. And Sumit Patidar coming on. Mohammad Asrar going out. That's a confirmation. I think they just need to be careful out here. And I think Joy Koshi would have also given out a card for that, because he was definitely not in control of the ball and you are pushing out the goalkeeper. It's understandable you're trying to take away the momentum, but then it also comes in with a certain set of repercussions. And if you are taking one for the team, you also take the accountability of the same. Two minutes is what separates these two teams. And the Avengers now knocking around on the doors. Another fine push towards the left. The Karnavati Knights, they'll have to push forward. It's as simple as that. They can't stay back in their own half. They are trailing by a goal. If someone has to show the urgency, if someone needs to show that they are made for the skies, they are truly the defending champions, it's the Karnavati Knights. The Avengers really scoring towards the latter half of the game. They kept on getting the pressure on and on as much as they could. And another change, and this time it's for the Karnavati Knights. They are bringing on Kaushik Panchal in the center. This could have been a change which would have happened before, because Kaushik, he's a very quick player. And I think if there's something that the Karnavati Knights missed out on in the first half, that was speed. Time and time again, the Ahmedabad Avengers, they looked a lot sharper, a lot quicker. That definitely will be an offside if you'd have chased for it. But this can be another fine run, a 1v1 situation, a bit of a difficult angle. A nice attempt to try and find that second post. Should have done better. Should have definitely done better. And now the Karnavati Knights, they are looking famished. They are trying to amplify the intensity of this game. 5 minutes of additional time, 300 seconds is what they have at their behest. That's a confirmation. Kuldeep Thakur is the man who went out. Kaushik Panchal coming in. Let's see if this brings about a change in fortunes for the Knights. Plays it on towards the far left. Could have been a better ball. Excellent body shielding. It simply keeps on getting a lot more complicated. We have a late twist in this game still. You never know. Football is all about twists and turns. It's all about crazy changes in the momentum. It's all about the wax and veins, the ebbs and flows. Who will come out on top? Can the Avengers keep a hold of their nerve? Can they eventually find out? Well, that's another lovely ball and an excellent run from the right. Can be trouble. Cross comes in. Irshad Malik could have done better, could have taken a bit more time, could have delayed letting the ball loose. That would have allowed the Avengers to storm in. There you go. I think what he also could have done is he could have, instead of just laying it off, he had a lot of space onto his left. He could have actually gone for that outside dodge, and he didn't. Surprising, to be honest. These are the small decisions that you have to make if if you are to stay alive in the contest. That should be a corner. The Ahmedabad Avengers all set to whip another one of those blinders there. Gotimayam Sharma delivers that. Another gentle, delicate lob straight into the hands of Vishal Dubey. And Vishal sends it downtown. Another Vishal ruling the Indian footballing roost to Vishal Kane, donning the threads of Mohun Super Giants. And here's Vishal Dubey protecting the citadel for the Karnavati Knights. Do we have a cinematic ending out here? Do we have a late twist in this game? A winding that no one would have anticipated? Or does it all fan out to oblivion? Another change. Akshay Mal, he's had a very good game today. He steps out. And he has been replaced by Aman Sheikh, another youngster in the making and another talented footballer. That will launch out off the byline for a throw in. Last minute of action. The Karnavati Knights. One last roll of the dice. One last song. Can it be the Symphony Supreme? Oh. We are still not done. We've got a free kick here. The Karnavati Knights, they have a chance to equalize. But I think that can very well be the telling blow, the coup de grace of the game. One chance only. Take it or let it slide. It's all up to you, Knights. Do we have a nightly turn of events? Do Karnavati or does Karnavati have the knight in their shining armor? Who is it going to be? Flip towards the second post. And that's a lovely header. Unfortunate that the ball would rattle the side netting and go out of bounds. It's a matter of moments from here on. That should do. A matter of few seconds. Ajmal is gone down and he will receive some treatment. That is possibly why the referee still hasn't blown the whistle. And with this, we come to the end of what has been an eventful day in Gujarat Super League. An excellent game of football meets a befitting end. The Ahmedabad Avengers coming up with an upset straight away. Who would have believed what just unfurled ahead of us? The Avengers locking horns with the reigning champions, Karnavati Knights. And in what was a thriller of a battle, it's the Avengers who's emerged victorious, courtesy of Muhammad Aslar's penalty. And with this, we say adios for today. Stay tuned for the highlights coming up. We'll catch up once again tomorrow. Thank you everyone for joining in.
Day 2, match 2. A great performance given by Ahmedabad Avengers. I have the player of the match, Mohammad Asrar, standing with me. I just wanted to ask you a few questions. Like, how was the performance pressure? Like, what were the difficulties you faced in the today's match?
First of all, Alhamdulillah, we are very happy we won the match. And about your question, it was really a difficult match. You could see they were also pressing. We were going for it. There were tackles in between, and we showed more commitment than them, and we got the goal. And we are grateful for it.
Did you expect that you will be named as the player of the match today?
Actually, I don't focus on individual awards. I wanted to win the game. We are here to win the tournament. So our main goal is to win the tournament and not for the individual accounts. And I'm grateful that I have been awarded man of the match.
That's great. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much. I request Mr. Ankit Patel to hand over the memento to the player of the match. And a check of cash prize rupees 5,000.